Ooh, Broncos country, we got a massive game coming up on Monday Night Football. We got some decent news, a little bit of bad news before the game. So we're going to dive into all that. We're going to talk about why the Broncos need to absolutely have a complete performance to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Even though they're playing at home and even though the Bengals have a backup quarterback, it is no walk in the park. And I think Jake Browning is kind of slept on a little bit more than we would anticipate for him to be. So let's dive right into it, guys. And first of all, we're getting to the injury report here, man. Some good news here is that the Broncos are going into this game fully healthy for the most part, right? You got Nate Atkins, Nick Bonito, Evan Ingram, John Franklin Myers, Alex Singleton, all good to go, ready. Now, there is concern here about Marvin Mims. He popped up kind of out of nowhere with a hip injury. Now, the fact that he was limited today, here's where the question begs, and this is where it gets a little bit, we don't really know the severity, if anything at all. Because the big thing here is that it could be one of those where he was just limited, they were holding him out, he had some soreness that he was dealing with, or he injured himself during practice, and that's what caused for him to be limited. Now, here's something a little concerning. Mike Klis is saying, Broncos wide receiver, kick returner, Marvin Mims, not on injury report all week, showed up today with a hip and is listed as questionable for the game on Monday. So him saying, is a little bit weird for me. And this tells me the fact that he's already listed as questionable and doesn't have no injury designation, that tells me, man, that he injured himself in practice. I hope I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I'm getting from that. And so that could be pretty significant news. Is it A.T. Perry season? I don't know if we're ready to get to there, man. The Broncos just need to find a way to win this game in any way. I personally believe this should be one of those games where they win by double digits. But who knows? Who knows with this team, man? We've got to clean some things up and we should be in good position. But anyways, speaking of, I think we are really overlooking Jake Browning as a backup quarterback, man. I think he's one of the upper tier backup quarterbacks in the NFL, just given what he's done. And here's kind of what he possesses, right? He's somebody that, no doubt about it, Jake Browning is the kind of guy that is going to get the ball out of his hands quickly, and he's also going to give defenses opportunities for interceptions. No doubt about it. He's got 3 touchdowns and 5 picks this year. In 2023, when he had very extended action, he finished with 12 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So he's got some aggressive nature to him where he can beat you and he can make you pay, but you could also, find opportunities to get turnovers. But he's a very accurate quarterback, 70% completion in 2023 when he played quite a bit of games, and so far 68% this year. So he'll take the checkdowns, he'll take the quick underneath ones. The key for this team is to get a lead early and start making Jake Browning feel like he's got to press a little bit, right? You're going to be able to get pressure on him. There's no reason on earth that they should be able to have any semblance of a running game on this Broncos defense. They haven't had a semblance of running game on anybody. So he should be able to, he should be able to, do some good things against him. He's also someone that doesn't really take a lot of sacks. If you look at his sack percentage, it's kind of comparable. It's actually a little bit lower at some points than what Joe Burrow gets. So he's someone that, like I said, he gets the ball out of his hands quickly. So we should not be sleeping on somebody like Jake Browning, man. He's definitely not a bad backup quarterback. He's somebody that's got a lot of experience. And anytime you're facing a team that is coming off of an absolute embarrassing loss like they had last week against the Vikings, you're going to get a really good effort from them. And I think this is going to be a closer game than any Bronco fan really wants, to be honest with you. But it's gonna really test the true character of this Broncos team, and we'll see how it ends up ultimately playing out for them. So I want to know what you guys think about this game and how are you feeling? I think personally, no doubt about it, this is an absolute must-win. The stakes are a lot higher for the team this year. They are looking at accomplishing goals that they haven't in over a decade in terms of not just making the playoffs like they did last year, but getting a playoff win. And you absolutely cannot start the season 1-3 if you have any hopes of that. On the flip side, you get a win here, you get some good momentum, you continue to clean those little things up, and this team's got the capability of going on a run. So we really are at a fork in the road right now. It's a big time turning point for the team in terms of which direction they're going to go. And we're going to find out on Monday night. We're going to find out what this team is made of, man. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this matchup that kind of scares me overall. Firstly, it's the fact that the Bengals' strength, even with a backup quarterback, their strength is in the offense. They have a lot. They have the most talented skill position players probably in the entire NFL in terms of, Mike Gesicki at tight end, obviously Jamar Chase being the best wide receiver, and T. Higgins being the best wide receiver too in the NFL. Those are guys, and even though Chase Brown's had a very bad season, we know that he's a very capable back when he gets the opportunity. So their strength offensively is kind of our weak. It's against our strength, which is on defense. Good news is that our secondary is very stout, I would say, but they don't have Noah Fant going into this week, which is very good news for us because that's just one less tight end that could absolutely beat us. But Mike Gesicki's not a joke. He's not going to be a joke at all. In addition to that, their weakness on defense is basically their entire defense, but their biggest weakness on defense is their ability to cover tight ends. And we don't really have a tight end that has proven that they can do anything yet. Yes, I know we got Evan Ingram and we got him back this week, which is huge. But until we get any kind of, production from the tight end position, it's a glaring weakness for us. So it's kind of like strength on strength, weakness on weakness. And so that doesn't always pose well. But again, we have to make this Bengals team extremely one-dimensional. It's difficult for any quarterback to win when the offense is one-dimensional. That's been the kind of biggest Achilles heel for the Bengals this year. They have not been able to establish any kind of a run game. In fact, probably one of the most wild stats that I've seen in a long time pertains to Chase Brown, the running back. Chase Brown has 93 total yards. Let me make sure I get these numbers exactly right. It's crazy. He has 93 total rushing yards on the season, but he has 147 yards after contact. That just shows how insanely bad the Bengals' run blocking specifically is on their offensive line. He is getting hit so consistently behind the line of scrimmage that he actually has not just more yards after contact than he has total yards, but it's by quite a big margin. So yes, we need to make them 100% one-dimensional and just get after the quarterback, get after Jake Browning, get the pressure. Like I said, again, we can get pressure against any offensive line. There's no reason why we should not against this team. So it's really going to just take a focus. We cannot overlook this team. I worry that they might be looking ahead to the Eagles, but to be frank, this team has not earned anything this year to be able to have even a semblance of that luxury. So certainly don't want for it to be something that comes back to bite us. Another great thing is that the Bengals defensive end Shamar Stewart looks like he's going to be out for this game as well. He's been ruled out. So that's another positive. Obviously, you never root for guys to be injured, but hopefully it's not serious for Shamar Stewart, but that's just one less pass rusher that we have to worry about and one less weapon on that defense that we have to take into account. So we'll see, man. We'll see how this ultimately ends up happening. I'm curious to know what you guys think below in the comments. Let me know. And we're going to have a full deep dive and a full breakdown on the Bengals tomorrow. Since we are playing Monday night, everything's kind of pushed ahead. Appreciate you guys rolling with me, man. Like and subscribe if I've earned it. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Peace.